With the flick of her pen, she writes, the magic within beginning to rise. The words flow, pages unfold, the stories delight. They help you to make a smile as you take my hand. You're spirited into a dreamy land, into the story we ride, with the story spirits as our guide. Hello friends, hello, and welcome back to another behind the scenes or backstory. In this audio, in this show, whatever you want to call it, we are going to focus on the backstory behind my book series, Spirit Guides of Tessa Loch. We have one, as of the recording of this, we have one book, The Mist Vamp, that's out there already, and I'm getting ready to start on the second in this series called The Pirates of Crystal Cove. And I wanted to just take a moment, as with all my books and book series, to kind of give a little bit of background around the fire and where these spirit guides of Tessa Loch are kind of coming from, and get you a little excited about the series itself. So I'm going to ask the spirit friends of Tessa Loch and Rockaway Point, because they are sister cities, to kind of join me in this little space and help keep me on track and help me just share, I think, what folks would find most interesting, fun, and magical about this book series. So let's take it away. Okay, so I want to just give a little bit of background on where the spirit guides of Tessa Loch even came from. Now, you may be listening to this audio in different places, but I suspect many of you coming here are fans of the book series and have found me through my ebooks that are up all over the place, that can be read for free through my publisher, Smashwords, but they distribute all over the place to Kobo and Apple Books, Google Books, Barnes & Noble. So welcome if you're finding me through any of those mediums, or you may be coming from one of my other channels. So I have a Loveland Tarot channel over on YouTube. You may have found me through that, or you may have found me through my TLC for the Soul YouTube channel or podcast. And may have just been guided over here to kind of have a little bit of fun with diving deeper into some of the stories, because we work with them in all of those different places. But if any of you are coming from TLC for the Soul, then you always hear me kind of talking about my list of spirit guides that I work with. And all of those, the majority of those, were ones that came to me through what was called a spirit guide auction. And it was a soul sister who has a Facebook group, and she would, post, she would have, monthly events or whatever. I swear I still wanted to, I still need to do those. But she would have monthly events, and she would bring in spirit guides. And it was kind of done in a couple of different ways, but one of them was do you want guides specifically coming in for you, or do you want me to just channel in a bunch of guides and then you pick ones that you think are for you? Either way, I mean, they were meant for you, but I acquired, I spent a lot of money at the spirit guide auction, but I feel like I amassed this soul family, I guess, for lack of a better word, of spirit family friends through these auctions. And I've got and every time she would list them, she would list a very detailed description of them. And then you kind of intuitively picked which ones were for you. Or there were just random ones, and you could kind of bid or buy them out, just like any other auction, right? So I acquired this list of over 30-something, I spent a lot of time in these auctions, 30-something spirit guides who I've been working with right now, and they're part of my spirit realms. All these spirit realms that I, in fun places, you pick how you want to interact with with what I'm sharing here with you. Some of you may be a little bit like, oh, not so woo-woo, this is kind of weird. Then just see them as another place like you would any other book place. Like, it's a Narnia, and it's a, Harry Potter world or whatever. Like, just see it as another world that was created. Now, for those of you that are a little bit more, are coming from the woo-woo path, so to speak, or the more kind of advanced spiritual practitioner, these are just other worlds that I've created and I work with. And so these spirit friends have kind of worked themselves into these spaces and places as, showing up in all of my work, in my books, in my oracle and tarot decks that I design and create, in the REDBUBBLE shop that has a lot of the, we have a Bringers of the Light series. We probably need a Tessa Loch series over there too, of different little fun items, buttons and pins and shirts and mugs and all of that, with all this stuff. So Tessa Loch was born from Rockaway Point. So if you're a fan of the book series of the Bringers of the Light series and Abigail and Dakar, Rockaway Point was etherically created. It was a little realm that I created for my Bringers of the Light series, up on the northern coast of the UK, excuse me, and a seaside town and so forth. And Tessa Loch came out of, was born from this first book, The Mist Vamp, which was one of my spirit guide family friends. Miss Vamp came to me and we wrote the Miss Vamp story together. I channeled that story in, and Tessa Loch, the town of Tessa Loch, was born from that. And one day I'm going to find somebody who is a really good illustrator to make maps of all these little, I started them myself, but they're quite like rudimentary, and I want like a little bit more of a fun like map. But Tessa Loch is the sister city to Rockaway Point. So to Rockaway Point's, and this is just in my soul too, like I would love to have like a house at the beach and a house in the forest. So Rockaway Point is my fun town on the beach, where Abigail and Dakar and the Bringers of the Light have a lot of their adventures. And then if you drive a little bit, get in your car and drive a little bit out away from the coast, you run into the forest and the town of Tessa Loch. And it's got its own magical spaces and places, with the with the friends from the deep pine forest elves, and there's just so many things. So the Mist Vamp was the first in this series, and it not only brought in the Mist Vamp, but the Mist Vamp story brought in, it's been such a while since I've looked at it, I almost forget, Jenna Lee and her love, Rutger, and it brought in some of our favorite little places like the Tor. I know geographically the Tor is probably obviously not there, but I brought the Tor into Tessa Loch, and we have such fun places like the Drunken Spoon Tavern and the Fish and Chips place and all of that you see in the Miss Vamp. So many friends coming into this story. And then we had Dartmoor, our Selkie, and Neil, our cat wizard, who are also some of my spirit guides, spirit friends. So what better way to kick off this book series and this backstory than just to share the magic with you of where all these came from. It's probably a backstory that will kind of get updated along the way. Like, I kind of just like to do an overall for the series and then come in and do like a little backstory for each book, so to speak. So we may do that. I don't know if I'll do that for the Miss Vamp, but definitely as I'm creating this next in the series, the Pirates of Crystal Cove, I will share backstory and kind of pull all of that together for you, so you have like a cool little book introduction if you so desire it. So I think that's all I have to share. It's just like, merge with these stories when you want to, like, get out of your everyday life and you want to find someplace fun. I know you've got plenty of choices of magical realms to drop into, and so I'm so thankful that you're here sharing mine with me and all of the other friends of these places. So here's to Tessa Loch and all the magic that is to come from this series, and I want to thank you all for joining me here. Thank you so much. Take care. This episode has been brought to you by Relics Bookshop. Be you wizard, muggle, or witch, Relics Bookstore has everything you need for your magical reading adventures. Thank you for joining us. Take care.